Thanks for staying healthy with us. I'm Colby from Mitten Fitness. Today you're going to need one or two heavy objects if you've got them. Two equally heavy objects, but we can get by with just one. And a timer. We do have timer apps recommended below in our description. Check those out, make your life easier. Alright, let's get to a warm-up. Today's warm-up has some new moves in it. We have 3 rounds of 3 reps each of these movements. Starts with a single leg upward dog to standing. It's a little tricky in that it's a single leg movement. So with a single leg, starting with my right, left leg's off the ground, drop into your plank, bring the hips down but don't touch the quad to the ground, and then stand back up, all on one leg. Okay? So you're going to do 3 each side. Single leg, upward dog or seal stretch, down to that plank, hips down, back up. I'll do one more on this side so you can see the free leg. Alright, single leg upward dog to standing. Again, that's 3 of those each side. After that, you're going to do 3 tempo push-ups. With those, normal push-up position, hopefully strict. You're going to do a 3-second descent. 1, 2, 3, and up. 1, 2, 3, and up. Okay? If you're not quite there on the strict, you can do it from your knees. 1, 2, 3, up. 1, 2, 3, up. Tempo push-ups, 3 of those. Then you have 3 plank waves. Excuse me. With those, it's a good shoulder warm-up. So we're gonna plank, get nice and stacked, get those feet stacked onto the side plank, and do a nice big shoulder circle wave. All right, that's 1 rep right there. You're gonna do 3 each side. Okay, so that means alternate. Do the wide circle wave, shoulder wave, alternate, shoulder wave, etc. 3 reps each side. After those 3 plank waves, you're gonna do 6 overhead good mornings. You know those. Go ahead and get your hip width stance. Hands up, overhead. Push the butt back, butt and hips back. Keeping that midline stable, good hinge in the hips. And then back up. Push the butt back till you can't. Feel the stretch in the hamstrings and glutes. Come right back up. 3 of those overhead good mornings. Press pause. You're going to do 3 rounds of 3 reps of each of these movements. And you'll be nice and warmed up, and meet me back here for strength. Welcome back from that warm-up. Today's strength has 4 movements, 2 supersets, 30 seconds of rest in between each movement. The first superset has Renegade Rows. You're going to do 4 sets of 8 to 10 on those. Then you're going to do Ypsilateral glute bridge floor presses. You're doing 4 sets of 10 to 12 each arm on those. Resting for 30 seconds, then jumping back up to those Renegade Rows until you've done 4 sets of both of those movements. On that last Ypsilateral glute bridge floor press set, you will rest for 30 seconds and roll into that second superset, which has weighted hollow holds. So a hollow hold, but with the weight in those arms this time. 20-second holds, 4 sets of those. And then your second movement in that second superset is Triceps Kickbacks. I'll show you those. 4 sets of 8 to 12 each arm, each tricep on those. Then back up to those weighted hollow holds until you've done 4 sets of both of those movements. Then you'll be done with strength. Alright, for those Renegade Rows, grab your 2 equally heavy objects, place them about shoulder width apart. You are going to plank over top of these. The dumbbells in your hands. I like to go for a slightly wider foot placement, foot stance, just to help keep my hips stable, because you do want your hips to stay level here, maintain, don't twist. All right, and then you're going to row, maintaining the core and this midline stability and not twisting. All right, elbows stay in. Renegade rows, 4 sets of 8 to 10 each of those. Then you go into your Ypsilateral glute bridge floor presses. So these guys, you get down on the ground. You will be floor pressing this object from the floor. So with the Ypsilateral, go ahead and get those heels up near your butt for the glute bridge, but when it's Ypsilateral, that means the same side that you're lifting with, that leg is free. So in this case, it's my right hand, my right leg is going to be free and up, my hips are as high as I can get them, and I'm pressing. A little more balance. You can use this arm to hold it out to your left side to keep that balance, keep that single leg glute bridge the entire time you're pressing. All right? Ypsilateral glute bridge floor press. You're doing 4 sets of 10 to 12 reps each arm on those, each side. Then you'll jump back up to the Renegade rows on through both of those movements until you've done 4 sets of each, resting 30 seconds in between. And remember, on that last set of Ypsilateral glute bridge floor presses, you'll rest that 30 seconds. Go into your second superset of weighted hollow holds. For the weighted hollow holds, you do not need a lot of weight in your arms here. For those, maybe an 8-pounder, 10-pounder, 15-pounder, whatever. I've got a 15. Get down on the ground for that hollow hold. Raise those legs up. And then the weight is in your arms. Get those shoulders off the ground. Engage that core. Arms are straight, legs are straight. Making that bowl hollow hold for 20 seconds. All right. After that, you'll rest for 30 seconds and go into tricep kickbacks. For those tricep kickbacks, you'll want a bench or a chair or an ottoman. Utilizing that chair or bench, put your knee on one end of the front of that chair or bench and the hand on the other. Your torso is parallel to the ground. You want your upper arm or humerus, part of that arm, parallel with your torso, and then you're going to use that tricep to kick the weight back. Hence tricep kickback. Boom. Like that. All triceps nice and isolated, keeping that elbow tucked in to the body. All tricep kickback there. All right. You're doing 4 sets, 8 to 12 reps each arm on those. Then you'll go back up. You'll rest 30 seconds, go back up to the hollow hold until you've done 4 sets of both of those movements. All right. Press pause. Have fun with this strength. I'll see you right back here for conditioning. Today's conditioning workout is 4-time 100 hand release push-ups. I'll show you those in a second. Fairly straightforward. The only trick is if you break those repetitions up at any point, say you get 18 push-ups your first try and you have to take a break, you have to do 10 hollow rocks each time you break the repetitions until you get to that 100th hand release push-up. Okay, so I'll show you both of those movements. Hand release push-up is just like your normal push-up, except you release the hands at the bottom. So we'll get in that plank position, arms locked out. We'll bring the chest to the ground, and then we'll lift the hands up, and then back up. You can get fancy if you want. As long as you're releasing the hands at the bottom. All right, if you need to do those from the knees, that's fine. hand release push-ups. Now again, if you break the repetition scheme at any point, you then have to do 10 hollow rocks. So with the hollow rock, remember, get into that bowl position, do the leg raise, arms up, rock. Only thing touching the ground is your tailbone and the lower part of your back. Your shoulders should be off the ground into that bowl. Rocking lower back to the butt. Now if you're not quite to the rock point in your hollows, you can do hollow holds as your penalty for breaking the rep scheme. Just hold it for at least 20 seconds and make sure you're really engaging that core, squeezing every muscle you got in that hollow position. Okay, that is it for conditioning. Have fun with it. Press pause, go to it. I'll see you back here for a cool down. All right, welcome back. Good job on the conditioning. Today's cool downs got two different movements, a lizard pose, which you're familiar with, and then a prayer stretch, which you're not so familiar with. For that prayer stretch, you're gonna need a bench or a chair, probably, or an ottoman, or the end of a couch. Something to prop those elbows on. I'll show you that though in a minute. All right, so for the lizard pose, you're gonna get down on your knees. You're gonna bring one leg forward. In this case, I've got my left foot forward. I'm gonna grab my right ankle with my left hand. Pull that heel toward my butt. Then I'm going to lean forward, pushing that knee, that left knee forward, simultaneously feeling a stretch in the quad. Pretty good stretch actually, pretty severe stretch, so take it easy, don't overdo these. And just kind of push the hips forward, pushing that knee toward the toe, gently for 30 seconds. You can do it statically, really holding that stretch for that 30 seconds, dynamically come out of it, go back in, try a little deeper each time. However you want to approach that, just get a good 30-second stretch on that quad and even into that hip flexor area. All right, lizard stretch. Remember, opposite hand, opposite ankle, and you'll have it. After the lizard poses, 30 seconds each side, you go into a prayer stretch. These guys are really good at stretching the tricep, the scap, trap, and back area, as well as in here, the lat, big time. It's a good movement to get some of that flexibility, that range in the clean, and those front rack positions with the elbows forward, elbows pointing forward. All right, so grab your chair, bench, whatever you've got. You're gonna get on this with your palms facing you. Kind of scoot the knees back, drop the head through as best you can. Head should be nice and loose. And then you're going to try and touch those hands to your back. Alright? They may cross over. That's fine. All the while really feeling that stretch in your triceps, in your lats, really loosening up that area. It honestly feels really good. If your hands do overlap, like you see mine are, switch them every once in a while, just to get that full range out of each arm. And again, that head is loose. Breathe through this. You're doing this for 30 seconds, 15 each side if you're overlapping those hands. If you can maintain, my range probably isn't really there. If you can maintain
keeping the bottom of those fists together, then you won't have to worry about overlapping the hands. If you can come out, ideally, this shows a limit in my range, but if you could keep your hands spaced apart as if you were holding a bar or a PVC, in fact you could grab a PVC to help you do that, that's gonna help you in the long run as far as your lat flexibility and your bar movements subsequently. Anyway, just kind of hang out down there for 30 seconds, making sure that head's loose, really feeling the stretch. It's a good one. Prayer stretch. Press pause, do those stretches, cool down. We'll see you next time. Hey folks, really appreciate you tuning in. Please do us a favor, press that like button, subscribe, find us on Facebook, find us on Instagram, like us, follow us. Stay healthy.